But it looks like again, with the U.S. and spending all this kind of money, and I noticed that they're talking about trillions and trillions. If you go from President Trump to Congress to Senate to media, I mean, you don't see nobody like in shock about the numbers.
I know.
We all remember, President Trump is a businessman, he's a growing businessman, and you remember the old days when he used to talk about, money. He was like, you can tell like when he used to like stress about we're paying like the Gulf countries whatever 100 million, 200 billion, whatever. But now he's even talking about trillions, but he can tell that there's no sweat about this. He's not talking about pocket change.
No sweat. I like that.
So everybody's talking about this because they know all this money. I mean, if someone not invested in the Rocket and ours, they might have the question like, where's all this money coming from? Number one. Number two, I mean, everybody's talking about trillions, and there's no problem. They're not telling you where the money coming from. So that's really right there. It's very, very interesting to look at those times, and you look for them. They're passing trillions of dollars, Congress, Senate, and there's no sweat. I mean, it's not this. They're talking about like $1 or $100 bill. You're talking about trillions here. Very interesting.
I've noticed that Trump is constantly saying. I look for patterns, keywords, but he's constantly saying, "We got plenty of money. We got plenty of money. We got plenty of money." Oh, no, we don't. Our economy is about to unemployment. We need to buy all this equipment. We can't buy all this. We got plenty of money. Yeah, every time he says that, I don't even know if people understand or notice that because you just did. You just did. He's talking with a swagger, with a confidence, with a financial swagger. That's rare, unless he's got a really big credit card he just got. But the Democrats know. Everybody knows, I think, by now, anyways, where this is coming from, and I'm excited because we got Donald Trump on our side, man. You know what I mean? He's actively involved in this, in my opinion. Anyways, brother, I love you, and I thank you for the report. Let's see what else they say tomorrow, okay, in the streets.
Yes, sir. I love you guys. You take care.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
I think we got...
Welcome back. I'm sorry about the loss of signal there, but I have no idea how it happened. And UB2B is not going to explain to me how it happened. And I don't think that there's really a lot of people that even care how it happened. So we're back. And we're going to continue in our study. But before we do, I want to show you something. This is, our UB2B. Okay? And when we're trying to share our information with you, there's a handful of you. It's like about 6 of you that are constantly posting, I can't hear anything. There's no sound. It's not fair. You got every complaint that you can come up with. And yet 99% of the people are hearing okay. In fact, watch this. I'm trying to get it to play, but unfortunately it's rotating down here.
You don't see nobody like in shock about the numbers. I know. We all remember, President Trump is a businessman, he's a growing businessman, and you remember the old days when he used to talk about, money. He was like, you can tell like when he used to like stress about we pay like the Gulf countries, whatever.
That sounds pretty clear to me. This is a recording that we had to shut down. Let me turn that volume back up.
About pocket change.
No sweat. I like that.
Here's what you do. Turn down the volume. It's not a complicated thing. Oh, and that's where we lost the signal there. Okay. Help me help you. I mean, I'm trying to be.
Really bad things.
I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be extremely polite, extremely patient. For those same people that constantly belliger me that they can't hear what we are broadcasting. It's not like I'm doing it to torture you. No, not at all. So please help me to help you, okay?
People are hearing okay.
Okay. So I made my point. Let me get rid of that one, okay? Now let's go to where we're at right now. Aye. Point. Let me get rid of that one, okay? Now let's go to where we're at right now and get back to work. Aye. So, what have we done in the last hour besides waste a lot of time? I hope that what we've done, oh, and this is a different YouTube? Is this a different link?
Yes.
We have to start all over again, and I have to express that what we're studying is the Iraqi Dinar. It is the 11th of April 2020. This is part 2. And I think that's all I got to say. And the first thing that we did is that we established 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we established that before we go in any further, the trickle down information is coming, like we showed you. Everything that we told you was going to be coming down is coming down. Every one of these chunks, every little piece. And then the latest one that occurred yesterday was a CBI currency history video. Now, these 3 topics that I just talked to you about, you need to go back to the UB2B that we just were kicked out of by whatever reasons. I'm just sick and tired of these games. And politics, I told you politics I despise it. It sucks. And now there's politics and what I have to do with UB2B. Unbelievable. So anyways, if you want to know about those 3 topics, please go back to the very first UB2B that we released, and it's called Q&A. Is that what it's called?
Q&A? The video? No. Oh, yes, the first one, 4/11/20 Q&A.
So the second one obviously is 2. Is that right, Tink?
It just says 4/11/20.
Okay, it just has the date on it. So let's get back to work. You want to? Not with me, Lisa. And welcome. You're going to catch on, Lisa. Anyways, they took the fire out of me. They took the excitement out of me. And that recording, I'm just going to get rid of it. It's gone. And instead, hold on a second. Hold on.
I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Thank you and have a great day.
At the tone, please record.
Okay.
Oh, no, what happened was,
The second recording that I'm going to play tonight, and we just lost the video.
Still fine here.
You still find there? Okay, let me hit refresh up here because it says that we don't have a video at all. Good. Okay, thank God. Just got a little angry at me right there, I guess. What a mess today. And that first UB2B, it's got good stuff. And now what we're going to do is just pick up from where we left off. I'm going to try. Now let's try something else. Today is questions and answer day. So here's what I'm going to do instead. I'm just going to stop with our report. Hey, yeah, it's me and Walking Stick and it's also Eminem. I have a recording from Eminem I wanted to play for you. We'll see if we play it. Cancel. But it takes forever for me to scroll. So bear with me, family, as I scroll and scroll endlessly to the top of today's report. Here we go. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take you shopping. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you shopping. And we're going to go into the supermarket of articles from today. And I think what we'll do is if I take these articles from today and I slowly go through them, I think it'll probably answer about half of the questions that you've already posed for today. And it'll also allow me to accomplish the other half of a report that we wanted to bring to you. If we don't get it all done today, we'll bring it to you on Monday. The appearance of Mohammed Saleh until the foreign reserves of the central bank is worn out. Now pay close attention to this, okay? This is powerful. And again, information trickling from where? The CBI to the citizens. And what was the first UB2B? Social media. The citizens are grabbing this and talking about it. And they're saying, hey, we want to go back to the glory days. Those are the same words Dr. Shabibi used. Why are you using them? Because we remember. You know about the new small category notes and a new rate coming out? Yeah, we know about it. That's why we're talking about it. Then Delta says, well, look, the money exchangers, what? They're talking about it too. They are. They're saying that it should go back to what it used to be, $3 and la. You heard all that, didn't you? Of course you did. And if you didn't, too bad. That was a good report. The social media is being used by Donald Trump with me and you against the bad guys. And the social media is being used against the bad guys in Iraq too, by the same guy. And that information is trickling out. Now, you may say, what do you mean by the same guy? Trust me, Donald Trump is talking to the citizens of Iraq. This whole call is in my opinion. I don't know what I'm talking about. You determine if I do or not. So the appearance of Mohammed Saleh says that until the foreign reserves of the central bank is worn out, due to the increasing demands of the new dinar. The what? Well, calm down. What'd you say? I said that, and it's me, Saleh, the good guy. I know you're the good guy. What you got to say about, and where's this under? Cash Edition. What post number? 42. Where? KTFOis.com. If you're not a member of it, you should be. So what do you got to say, Saleh, again? The good guy, Mohammed Saleh? Look, until the foreign reserves of the central bank is worn out, and it's not going to be. Yeah, I know, because they fixed it, right? Yeah, we're not illegally doing it anymore with the American dollar. So everything's okay. Yeah, but keep reading. Well, until that's taken care of, or until it wears out. It already has. They already did. What about it? Well, this is due to the increasing demand in the new dinar for the old dollar. Okay. Hey, you think I'm making this up? We told you. that it's an education process, a trickling down effect, the flowing of information down to the citizens. And we showed you the social media, not hundreds, thousands are talking about, it, and the money exchanges to the citizens and saying, look, we know there's a change coming, and we hope that the rate is a lot better. And hey, look at here. You know why they're talking about it? Because the money exchanges are one of the mechanisms to get the new small category notes of the citizens in their hands. Why? Because these money exchanges want to make money. That's their life. Well, they can all go to the CBI and they can get it at a cheaper rate. Yeah, but the money exchanges are universal with every citizen. They've been with them forever, generations, and they got a good atmosphere with them. So that's why the CBI and Daddy are going to use them as a mechanism. Yeah. And what's Chalet got to say about this? Well, he's saying that, yeah, you just heard it. So when he's talking to them and he's telling them about the new dinar against the dollar coming out, when the government of the public finances ultimately resorts to the central bank as a currency issuing bank, wait a minute. You're going to be issuing a currency? Well, yeah, but we are the currency issuing bank. Okay, go on. And then? Well, we're going to ultimately resort to the central bank as the currency issuing bank in order to the finances of the budget deficit to the inflationary cash instrument. This comes mostly through the mechanism of the central bank of appearance of the treasury transfers as a tool to the finance internal public debt to the exchange for the issued cash. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. And why? Well, we just told you because the central bank is dealing with the worn out and due to the increasing demand of the new dinar for the $1 accumulated in our foreign reserves, which at the same time represents a derivative of demand for the foreign goods, services, and the benefits, especially within domestic products, energy functions as a situation of flexibility. So, well, and this happens in the same way that it had happened back in 1990, even though it was particularly caused by a severe inflationary phenomenon. Oh, what? Will you stop interrupting me? Okay, okay. Represented by in the deterioration of the value of the currency to three decimal places and the low standard of living together. Okay, okay, wait a minute. People that have the authority to talk about the Iraqi dinar, you're telling the citizens, and this is trickling down to them, that back in the old days when you guys were suffering, you guys moved the decimal over 3 points, and that. Any thoughts on institutional investors making a play on the IQD? Where the heck did that come from? So, ready for this ride to end. Yeah, here's the button for your tribe to scroll over and push. Hmm. Can they do the change before the new prime minister? See, y'all gotta listen. Stop asking questions, please, kindly. What did you hear? What I just read to you? Did you see who it is that's saying it to the citizens? Do you understand? He's telling them, "I'm sorry about your low standard of living." And yeah, with our currency, we had to move the decimal 3 places. And yeah, back in the 1990s and the flexibility we had, and we're coming back with it. Do you understand the banks and the services and what we're accumulating, and as far as our reserves and what we're doing to back up, and these are the mechanisms and these are the tools that we're using for the inflationary. You should understand what you're reading, because it's ridiculous to ask any other questions. The post number 44, the integrity, and by the way, admins of KTFA, besides that video, could you please add Don 961, post number 42, cash edition. In case you want to know about their cash, here's an addition. In case you're interested. Can you please put that in our final article thread? Word for word. And then, thank you, by the way. Continuing in our study family, post number 44, the Integrity Committee says that major corruption files will be exposed after the end of the corona crisis. No. No. Not in my opinion. These corruption files are the reasons why, in my opinion, the CBI auctions is stopped. Post number 45, optimism to pass the government of Al-Kazimi. Who? Oh my goodness, huh? Hey Frank, what? Who do you think would be the new prime minister? I don't care. Why not? Because the prime minister is nothing more but a clone of Donald Trump. It's a revolving door. How many times I got to say this to you? Okay, who did we have? Marty? Get out of here. Okay. Who's next? Alawi? And all of a sudden, from the last guy, Marty, we got Alawi, and then we've got Zebra, and then we've got who's the new guy now? Who is it? Kazam? Yeah, let's call him Kazam. Every one of them, the dead, walking dead, the elite supreme leaders of Iran that are still in the GOI of Iraq, the few that are still remaining there, they come out and they say no. And they can come out like a machine gun. No. But every one of them that they say no to and we replace them, they'll also say no. And why? I told you already. It's over 100. It's a list. It doesn't matter who the prime minister is. Each one of these that you get rid of, elite bozo knuckleheads, will be replaced with another one that's bigger and better and badder than the one you replaced. And they're all clones of Donald Trump. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you ask me about the prime minister and when are we going to get it, or are we going to have the rate first before the prime minister or the prime minister? I don't care about the prime minister. I don't care about the government. I care in the sense for them to get their act together. Okay. And it'll make it a lot easier for the CBI to fulfill their act. Pamela has a very good point. She says, wasn't this Kazimi, whatever, Kazam guy, wasn't he the Citizen's Choice way back? Yep. It doesn't matter. The Walking Dead have no voice, no authority, no nothing. The voice of those the remaining mosquitoes of these Iranian bozos is a voice that is being projected out in space. Nobody can hear you in space. There's no sound in space. And there's no sound coming from these dead bozos. Every time they cause a problem, we replace it with somebody else. Who? Another Donald Trump. And it started since we got rid of Marty. And if you haven't caught on, post number 50, the Hadim Bank, some departments received, I don't care. Post number 56, Kazam is accused of his pro-American interests and must prove the opposite. Really? The GOI is so cast in titanium by our grip. I don't care about the GOI. All I care about is the information getting to the citizens. I don't care about the CBI doing anything for the monetary reform because it's done. You got to deliver the package, and that's what they're doing right now. And if you can't see that and you got to ask questions about everything else, I'm sorry for you. And if you have a need financially and you're it causes you to be impatient, then I pray for you and I love you. I wish you well. But you have reason to be excited. You don't have reason to be disappointed or depressed or asking questions or being negative about anything. You don't. Like complaining that I can't hear. Seriously? Did you just hear the recording that I played to you? It was perfect. But you can't be patient enough to wait until the whole call's over and then listen to it? No. Or you couldn't just adjust your own volume up and down? You see, these things throw me off my track. I am used to lecturing in front of people that are ladies and gentlemen. Before I leave this, I'm going to do it one more time. You got to go back because you're missing it because of my frustrations today. You got to go back. And if you're not a member of our forum, you got to find us. Post number 42. Look at what it says. Look who it's from and look at what it's going to the citizens. And stop worrying. Dear God, what else do you want them to tell them? The date and the rate? Well, that's at the end of all of this. Post number 45, optimism to pass the government of Al-Kazimi. Well, make up your mind. See? Post number 50, some departments received it, and I don't want to talk about that. Post number 56, Kazam, I'm going to call him Kazam. Remember that Shaq when he made that movie? Kazam! The big guy. Yeah, I like Kazemi. I like every doggone prime minister you bring me. They're all trained. Yeah, it's okay to say that. They're all trained. And it started with Alawi, the very first one, Muhammad. He went in there and busted the basketballs of the Iranians that were still left there. They're like, wait a minute, where'd you come from? And then they replaced him with, who was it? The last one, Zebra. Zebra went in there and actually cleaned out the rest. It is this guy that's now going to... Post number 60, American specifies the members of its delegation that will negotiate with Iraq. Assistant Secretary of State, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Well, you see, and like I told you this. The last time we were together. Iraq, Pompeo, the United States gave them until May 1st. What? Get it together. Okay. All right, after May, I want to set up a dialogue with you. I want to talk with you. And I told you, in my opinion, it might be more about military actions to prevent terrorism in the Middle East. And it says here that on last Saturday that Washington continues to prepare for a new round of strategic dialogue with Iraq with the members of the negotiating delegation identified as so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. Quote, the Trump administration is continuing its preparations to hold a new round of strategic talks and dialogues with Iraq, announced by so-and-so and by the minister so-and-so and by Mike Pompeo. Yeah, at the beginning of this week, they said that fixing its date in the middle of next June. He added that the American administration will form a delegation headed by so-and-so and will contain so-and-so, all these ministers, and will all be from the Treasury of the United States and from the Defense. Oh, that's nice. Can you make a side note of that? Who is that? Minister. Oh, the Minister of Defense. Okay, including the Treasury and the ministers. Alrighty, Treasury and Minister of Defense of the United States. Okay. You want to throw in the Secretary of State in there? Sure, he'll probably show up. Okay. What about the Vice President of the United States of America? Sure, I'll throw him in there too. Okay. Sidebar, right? Sidebar. Okay. Post number 62. Who are you? I don't know. I'm nobody. What do you want? Well, because of the coronavirus, I think we're going to have to deal with blockchain technology. Somebody take him outside and beat him senseless. Okay. Post number 67. The President of the Republic arrives in Fallujah. Chalet will meet some of the city's dignitaries as well as the governor and speak to the parliament, Mohammed al-Halbushi. and some of the political leaders. Well, now that's good. Well, this guy gets around, doesn't he? Post number 70, Habushi, and he's talking, and he says, hey, we want to do this in complete secrecy. What? Yeah, no, look here. Post number 70. So Chalet meets with these guys, and he says, let's talk, but we're going to talk right here, right there, right where my fingers are, right there. We're going to talk, but in complete secrecy, okay? Don't tell nobody. Shh, shh, shh. What you guys going to talk about? Security? Okay. Alrighty. Why? Because there's a convoy of troops that are arriving in Fallujah. Really? Lots of forces. It's unprecedented. It's humongous. Really? From who? Daddy? Daddy's showing up all over the place, huh? Yes, he is. Well, what about Junior? Daddy Junior. Daddy Junior. Who's Daddy Junior? The vice president. Oh, no comment. Okay. Post number 73. Washington offers a reward to those who prove it with information about, bad people. Yeah, all the bad Hezbollah and Iranian supreme leaders. You see, we can now offer this because we're there. And how much is it? Oh my goodness, how much is that? What's that say? 10 million? 10 million. Oh, 10 million for exchange of information from any of the bad guys. Oh, gee whiz. Start up my plane, man. I'm going. I'll go talk. I'll go talk. 10 million. Oh, because we can do this. We're there now. We got the control of this information. This is good. And watch the arrest. A lot of you are going to ask me, well, when are the arrests going to start? Dude, they started. That's why they shut down the CBI auctions. And they're arresting them left and right. They ain't telling you about them right now. This whole call is in my opinion. I don't know what I'm talking about. But you offer me $10 million? I will turn in my 10 million in a hot environment where all I can taste is sand and oil from the air, where it is a miserable life out here. You're gonna offer me 10 million, Dubai? Yeah, I will turn coat on these people faster than Paul Revere's coat can be turned on. Alrighty, what else we got? Well, we got the Chinese are getting involved. I know they accepted that big contract on April the 6th, wasn't it? And that was mainly because of the currency manipulation law that was applied on that day, that they were able to bring in their money now to buy that oil. No, it's not that. What? You got something to tell me about China besides the big oil deal with Iraq? In the Middle East? There's something else about China and the Middle East? Yeah. No, what? Well, American destroyers have crossed the Taiwan Strait in conjunction with Chinese exercises. No. Yeah, the Taiwanese Navy and the United States Navy have announced that a U.S. Navy destroyer equipped with guided missiles has crossed the... So if they crossed the Taiwan Strait, and this was yesterday, Friday, what else happened? Well, on that same day, what? Chinese fighter planes, those are pretty good planes, I've seen them. Chinese fighter planes conducted exercises in the waters near Taiwan. And ladies and gentlemen, you should see our F-23s. Oh, they're gorgeous. Remember, Jan, yesterday?
Uh-huh.
Did they give you chills?
Yeah, they're loud.
Loud.
Last 3 days.
Last 3 days. My wife says to me, look, why? You can see as they bank, and just as they bank at that right angle, you can see their afterburner, because it goes from white, white light to the super, afterburners, that it turns into that reddish color. They're gone. Oh my goodness, the the power of our Air Force. We're seeing it all over these islands right now. I've never seen that before. We have never seen that many of our birds in the air like this. There's nobody here. There's not. Last night, Tank, what did they start?
The curfew from 11 to 5 a.m.
From what is it?
11 p.m. to 5 a.m.
I said F-23s, didn't I? I messed up. I meant F-32s, 33, F-32s and I think it's F-32s and F-35s. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm so sorry, Blue. I'm sorry, Blue. But anyways, they are the Jedis. They are the Jedis. These are the Skywalkers of today's modern Air Force. Those airplanes, those airplanes can make decisions for the pilots. Oh my. It's just amazing. Oh, somebody put on here the F-35s. Thank you. I sure made myself look stupid. You cannot be asking me questions while I'm doing the conference call. Okay, I did it again. And it's you, the same person. Where was I? Al Kazemi or Kazam and Minister of Finance discussed the steps to form the government. You see that? What that really is the CBI and the GOI are talking behind closed doors. That's closed doors, secrecy. They'll tell you what they want to tell you when they're done. So Kazemi's government may complete the entire electoral cycle for 2022 in the event of the corona and the financial crisis continues in the collapse of oil. No, he's just doing it. Brought forward link prevailing unveils a package of measures to support the private sectors, and this is good. On Thursday, zeroed the customs duties. So customs now being electronic and have zeroed them out. Would that not suggest that they are ushering in a new dinar? I believe this is from Eminem. Let me see if it is from him. Yes, it is. I want you to read Eminem's statement here. Would that not suggest that they are ushering a new dinar? Yes, once they have zeroed out the old, they electronically will, or have had calibrated the electronic system. Yes, it was recalculated many times for the new changes necessary for them to bring in the new dinar. Yes, and that's why they're telling the people about the new small category notes. It sure looks like it. Don't forget that the FIMA started last Monday, as did the currency manipulation law or rule, has come into effect, whereas the CBIs globally now have the mechanisms in place to move the American dollar assets around in a smoother manner, in other words, not illegally through the auctions, in a smoother manner to counter any liquidity issues, just as in page 1, Post 5 points out. Iraq is part of that facility that the United States Treasury has put into place. And then Eminem says, you know what, this is looking very sweet. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Alrighty, in my opinion, yeah, la 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 la, Eminem, and that, appearance. One more time, because the zero, the slates that were wiped clean, you can't ignore that. That just doesn't happen. Unless it's a start over. Look here. Eminem, once again, is commenting and saying that on post number 120, if you're not a member of my forum, I'm sorry. Post number 120 today. The appearance of Dr. Mohammed Saleh also note that the mechanisms, do you understand how many times they have used that word? You know how many times we used that word before they started to use it for the citizens? The mechanism of the central bank's acceptance of the treasury transfers, i.e. bonds, denominated in dollars, in exchange of the issued cash. Example, 3-0 notes. In my opinion, I mean, it says it now, not up to the point where it's in my opinion, but it says the 3-0 notes. Now, from that point onward, it's Eminem's, in his opinion, he's saying, now, in my opinion, the new small category notes are not yet issued to the public. So these bonds, if I read Treasury Transfer correctly, will create foreign reserves. Yeah! Are you catching all of this? Well done, Eminem. Will create foreign reserves and stimulate internal public debt while they create demand for the new dinar currency. As I have read earlier, that the video, the one we told you about, that then the video about Iraq's fortune management is clearly a success and geared for it too. Yes, I believe so, my dear friend. Quote, the performance met the expectations. Come on. The performance met the expectation, including reforming the CBI's functions and the stimulation to the Iraqi economy, also ensuring the stability of the exchange rate and keeping the reserves at acceptable levels. The governor of the Central Bank of Iraq, Allah himself. Okay, well, that's nice. Okay, in the meantime, anything else happening? No, not really. A lot's happening. A lot. Look at, I just got to reemphasize one more time. You should be writing these post numbers down. And then Delta tells Don 961, great job, my brother. Great job, amazing. Thanks for finding this. And he did a good job. Now, before we get started, all these prime ministers are clones, correct? Okay. Yeah. They are clones of President Trump, in my opinion. And in my opinion, because of that, President Trump is now in Iraq. Maybe not physically, but because his clones are in Iraq and calling the shots. And as much as the bad guys shoot them down with words. Next up, and I told you this, didn't I? I used a baseball term. Remember? Who's the next batter up? Who's the next prime minister up? I don't care. And in fact, you keep doing what you're doing because each one of these has a specific amount of life in them. This whole call is in my opinion. I want to call it the mariposa effect. I want to call it the monarch effect. It's my own opinion. When a monarch butterfly leaves its home in the depths of Mexico's jungles, it will fly upward and cross the Americas. It'll cross Mexico into the North America. It'll continue to go through the states. It'll go all the way past the Americas up into Canada and as close up to the tundra. And then it turns around by geomagnetic forces with little metal fragments that are right about here in their head. And that metal filings is what allows them to feel true magnetic north. When they're done, they turn around and they do the same voyage all the way back. It takes, I think, about 2, maybe 3 years to do this voyage. Pero la mariposa no vive solamente una vez, pero vive muchas veces para poder hacer esto, para poder darle vida. And this is a cycle of the monarch butterfly. But it's not just one monarch butterfly that accomplishes this trip in 2 years. It's generations of these butterflies. And somehow or another, even though they are far away from home, not in a warm environment, but maybe in a cold environment, somehow or another, their DNA has the instructions and the blueprints of which way to go. Not only by magnetic north, but by the stars and the wind. These butterflies will die. And the little cocoons will turn into butterflies. And that generation will continue northward. They'll die and they'll never even know about their home in Mexico. Never know about it. But they will accomplish this mission. They will accomplish this trip. As the last generation finally makes it back many years later to the origin of their home. The Iraqi dinar has gone through many generations of failure. But yet they have all strived and been able to improve and get to the next level. For example, did we get rid of Saddam? Good job. And you survived it. You kept moving. Good job. Did you survive ISIS and Daesh? You kept moving. And they eventually made it back home. The Iraqi dinar is coming back home. It's gone through hell, but it's coming back home. Stronger, better, improved, wiser. With an awful lot of backing, knowledge, experience, but more so the backing. Yeah. And right now, the final resting place for the Iraqi dinar is the extension of Donald Trump. When you see that they talk about the zeros and wiping them out at the borders, I mean, what's that about? I suppose it's to reinforce Iraq, economically, financially. But I also think it has a lot to do with something in the sense of military. Something small, I think, is going to continue to stay small until it's gone. And something small, I believe, is going to be introduced to the citizens of Iraq. It was said that the Vice President of the United States of America, what's his name, Pence? How many do you show, Jen? 1 point.
1013.
Huh?
1013. 1013.
Oh. Okay, then. It was said that the Vice President of the United States of America was in Iraq today. Remember that sidebar I showed you about? Look at that sidebar note. See those names? Does Donald Trump have to be in Iraq? Or can his clones do the same? When you see an outlet source from the Middle East very specifically break it down, I'm not going to take the time to read it to you, but very specifically break. Oh yeah, Mike Pence and what was the other guy's name? I forgot what the other guy's name is now. Shoot, I forgot. Mark and Mike and Mark or something like that. Yeah, Mark Esper. You got these guys showing up in the United States, really? Yeah. And then they tell you they arrived at this time, yeah. And they were picked up and they went to this place and they had these meetings and I mean the whole spiel, right? Broken down. And then like about 5 hours, or excuse me, about 3 hours later, here comes the media and they say, "Excuse me, my bad." What? No, Vice President Pence was not given Iraq. More than likely, he's not. He's home. He's home. Here, hold on a second. I don't know if I can look this up for you that quickly, but let's see. We have a. Oh, there you are, my White House friend. No, sir. Pence was said earlier in the week that he would attend the virtual services of their Indiana church from right in his living room at the vice president's residence, where he's been attending there for the several last weeks. In an interview with CBN News, Pence said that the service would be followed by a Skype Easter brunch with our kids around the country. Yeah. No. So then I made another phone call to our friends in the Northeast, and they said no, no, not that we know. Okay, thank you. So when we went back and we looked at the article that was written up about Pence and Mike and Mark being there, oh my gosh, it was a detailed, what's the word? Detailed agenda, huh? No, agenda, the schedule, your menu. I mean, step by step of what he did. Somebody went out of their way to make all that caca up, didn't they? No. Okay, so what you doing? I'm writing this. What you write it up for when? For now? No. What do you mean no? No, dude. Somebody take him outside and shoot him, or just take that article away from him. He's already sent it in. Oh my God. Put out a retraction, man. Put out a retraction quick as soon as you can. Okay. Now, this whole call, like I said, is in my opinion, right? Yeah, it's just in my opinion. It's just in my opinion. But it seems to me that that information, greatly detailed, came out a little bit premature. And by the way, I have a very dear friend. His name is Morgan. I'm taking a quick little time out here. Morgan. It's my friend. Morgan. And his mother sent me a little video, and I'd like to share it with you because I want Morgan to see it. Morgan, hey buddy, look what I got. You see that okay? You ready, Morgan? Morgan is 30-something years old, and he lives with his mom, his family, and Morgan is my fan. That's Morgan right there, and that's me right there in the camera that his mother's holding. And check it out. Let me turn up the volume. Ready, Morgan?
Hi, Frank.
Miss Frank? Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Yes.
Hi. Hi, Frank.
Let me put pause. Isn't that precious? Oh. Hi, Morgan. I love you, buddy. Aloha to you. I send you love. Friend. So I asked my friends up in the Northeast, is he out there? No. So we came to the conclusion that no, we don't think that the their M&Ms, Mike and Mark, are out there. But I believe in the same manner that our president is not out there either. I believe that his words, his actions, his desires, his orders, his commands, his supervision is there. So when I see that these two M's were falsely reported as being in Iraq. I say to you, they're good patriots. Eminem says to you, they're good patriots. In fact, let's take a quick little second, and what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and play this between me and Eminem, because we were trying to figure it out. He says, "Is the president, vice president there?" I said, "I didn't even know he was there. Where'd this come from?" And we're looking, we're talking about it, and like, well, I don't know. Well, if he is there, this is a good stuff. And if he isn't there, well. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play this recording between me and, between Eminem. His name is Brent, our analyzer. His name is Brent. I'm going to play this between me and Brent so that you can get an idea. First of all, we're done with. We know the vice president is not there, so, but he may not be there physically, but I believe that he is there in the leadership position that he holds for the United States of America, and now as just simply another clone of President Trump. And we also talked about, what else have we talked about? The borders? The zero. So this is not a long recording, I promise you. It's 15 minutes long. Kick back, relax, and enjoy it between me and my friend.
Forgive me, but it.
Oh, Brent, I can't get it to start at the beginning, dude. Oh, I'm sorry.
Or press 1 for more options.
Unbelievable.
Here he's calling now. Anyways, like I said, I'm running out of time now. Eminem, can you hear me? Try talking.
Hello? This is Eminem. Who this?
That wasn't Eminem, by the way.
Hello.
You were supposed to let me call you.
Oh no! What happened was, forgive me, but my phone went to voicemail on you.
I know, and I couldn't figure that one out. Anyways, like I said, I'm running out of time now. The thing that happened between Trump, as you and I are talking right now, I'm sorry, I'm not Trump, oh, my brain, Secretary of State, what's his name? Pompeo.
Oh.
Right?
Pence. Pence is there today.
Tim?
See, I didn't even know.
Pence. Mike Pence, the vice president.
I'm so sorry.
See?
No worries.
I said the wrong thing. I'll tell you, Mike, what's your name? I gotta get some sleep. Yeah, no, I know what your name is, and here I am calling you the vice president. All right, let's do this again. You got Mike Pence, and who was the other guy that showed up with him? I forgot.
Mark Esper.
Yeah. Now, both of these guys, in my opinion, are what we've been telling the family, that they are nothing more but clones of Donald Trump. The prime ministers, one after another, doesn't matter. They're all clones. And because of that, now I'm going to say tonight that Trump is now in Iraq. You see, these gentlemen, Mike Pence and Mark, they are the extensions of Donald Trump.
Exactly.
And when we said a few days ago that we're not overseeing anything, we're now taking it supervision, taking over, guess who's there to supervise? The second in command of the most powerful country in the world. And like I said, what do you think that these guys want? Not to do the reinstatement? So what are they there for? In my opinion, go ahead.
I think they're there to facilitate probably more than one thing at a time. Under the guise of the Patriot system that showed up, but the next thing would be is to facilitate governmental issues and monetary issues. That's my extension of it.
Yeah, number one, the reforms. You're not going to have the economic reform without the financial reform. So number one, the reforms. We need them both, and obviously the financials first, and that's what they've been working on. Number two, I believe that, like I told you in that post, something small is going to remain small, and that would be what? Iran. But
but but because these guys are there, and that's number two, by the way. In my opinion, it's because of Iran military actions. Like you said in a joke, that was funny. I think you said something that their Pence is a patriot. Is that how you put it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's overseeing the Patriots is what he's doing. But yeah, number one, Mark and Mike are there. The M&Ms. Oh, there you go. Those M&Ms are there for the reforms, the two reforms, and of course the financial reform is number one on their list. And then the other thing is the military. You're gonna keep something small. Something small is gonna stay something small, but something small, I believe, is going to also be introduced. What we've been calling the new small category notes. So let's hope that's the case. Let's see what happens.
Let's do it. Hey, really quickly, though, interestingly, we were going to do a recording, but that's okay if you don't.
I got it. It's recording right now, and I want you now to take over. I just wanted to say those words because the main thing I'm going to talk about is, Mike and Mark and Trump and clones. Now, are you interested in more zero talk? What do you want to tell me about resetting and so did the slate get wiped? What happened here?
Well, I think what they could have started on Thursday is that they flat out tell you that the customs duties were zero. My vision on that is that they cleaned the slate, leveled the playing field, put out all the commerce that may have been inside the pipeline got zeroed out. In other words, we got through all that stuff. And if you think about the timing of this got started on Monday of last week because of those FIMA and the CML, which
that's right,
municipal law. And so for them to facilitate all this money, which is the U.S. dollar denominated assets, they put that as a facility, as a mechanism in place for all central banks and the monetary authorities around the world. And then a couple of days later, we see the Iraq Central Bank tell us that they have that same type of facility available to facilitate trade through bank loans, etc. They've even taken the reserve requirements that all central banks have for liquidity purposes and lowered that level by 13%. And then are waiving fees and fees for electronic transactions, loans, etc. So what they're doing, I think, and I hope I'm right, is that since the currency manipulation law is in place, that they won't allow any more auctions. I'm hoping they don't come back. And if that's the case, this facility, this mechanism, if you will, may very well be the conduit that they can ride on because the fees drop down. So they won't need to use the dollar anymore. And as they go through this process and use the dollar bonds, they've talked about that. Numerous articles in the final article thread talk about dollar bonds. And at this stage, they're talking about treasury exchanges. Well, treasuries are bonds, in my view. So if that's the case, these guys are all geared and ready to go. And that's been an ongoing thing all through this last week. In the final article thread, there's an article posted for, I think it is, for April 4th. They said that they were going to change the way we get the dollar because of the exchange rate of the dollar was going up. So in other words, the currency of Iraq was going down to like the 1260 to the 1300 range. I think Delta talked about that as well. Yeah. And I think that this mechanism they have will suffice for that for a short period of time. And hopefully this weekend, or whenever they feel it's comfortable, they're going to specifically use the new currency, the new dinar. That's what they're talking about. And I think that's where we're at this stage. Fascinating time.
No doubt. And mechanisms are being used, and believe it or not, in my opinion, both the M&Ms are actually a mechanism right now.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I think that they were sent, and as being an extension of the President of the United States, saying that Trump is in town, that's a true statement as far as I'm concerned.
But I like your idea in the in the direction that you're looking. If they don't have the auctions anymore, and that's because the currency manipulation law stopped that. What did they call it? It's illegal what we're doing. Well, guess what? Now you got a law to stop it. And if that's the case, then like you said, they dropped the down to zero. Is this to start with a to start? Is this to start? With a clean slate? I don't know. Is this to start? Is this to start fairly with their currencies and ours? I don't know. I don't know.
This article, though, it's published the 10th. It talks about, and if you look at over time, and you go back to that final article thread, even the last page, they talk about facilitating trade with foods, with medicines, etc. And why is that important? Is because if they get it done, because they've closed the borders for trade, and they're only allowing certain items, necessity items, if you will, to be moved across the borders. So that gave them a cover, I believe, that shows that they close the borders and only use specific items. So at this stage, since they got it to zero, cleared the book, so all the items, this is a theory, all of the items that come in, all the medicines, all the proper foodstuffs, the ration card foods, etc., arrived, boom, allocated. Then they tell you that they're going to be using blockchain technology electronically. And what that video showed me that was brought in on the currency, the history of the currency, if you read it and pay attention to some of the things that they talk about, one of the things is transparency. It's not easy to have trust in the world. So at this stage of the game, they've got the trust now, because now that they are showing you that they're doing the same things as the other banks, they have come to a place with their banking, like Alok says, it's a success. One of the things they had to get to was transparency and trust, and they got that now, and that's what we're seeing. So once they've done that, and so they're doing the same mechanisms, the same facilities, tapping the same keg, if you will, of which is the U.S. dollar, to be able to have liquid assets, which also, by them using that facility, it also supports the United States foreign reserves. The IQD, the UST, supposedly has, would be supported. That's where a lot of money is going to be derived. And that's, I think, exactly what we're seeing right now. Because why? Well, the IQD has what in their reserves? The USD. Mm-hmm. They go hand in hand, back and forth. This is like a three-way circle. Everybody's going to they're going to make this work from what I'm seeing. This is beautiful stuff.
It is beautiful. It's a masterpiece the way it was put together. And it's being explained every day more and more to the citizens. The latest thing is yesterday, that video. I mean, how clearly could we tell the family a year or last summer, we told them there will be what we call the second article from the CBI. I don't care how it came out. It's out. Now look at it. Look at that video. What did we tell you? They're going to teach the citizens at the very beginning. They're going to tell them this is why we're doing this. This is the history of our currency. This is where it's going. This is what we've done. This is the change. That video was exactly that.
Yeah, it is. I watched it a few times, and it's very eye-opening, because if you pay attention to see specifically what they say, it's telling you that they're going to a market economy and they've been successful and they're moving forward. They're not sticking with the program rate, because that's not what they've accepted. That's what they have not accepted. They've accepted Article 8 rules, and that they want to be compliant with that. So now finish the process, and that appears to be where we're at.
Yeah. And then on top of that got loose. Then Lebanon television releasing the information too, from Arabic into English. The Iraqi citizens start to talk about it in their social media. And the Delta gave me a report on that, oh my goodness, Frank, it's not hundreds, it's thousands of them. And what's crazy is that they're not just talking about what, they're saying that they're going to introduce a new currency, a new rate. They're actually talking about the calculations of the rate. The citizens are going back and saying, we want to go back to the glory days. And I said, wait a minute, they said that? And he said, yeah, I'm reading it. Well, those are the same words that Dr. Shabibi said. It's amazing how the citizens have not forgotten the goal of Dr. Shabibi for their currency. Interesting.
Yes, it is, and I'll add one more thing. And maybe you remember this. It's been quite some time, but there was an interview that was I wrote about it. I don't know if it ever got into the final article thread, but I do believe though that we all talked about this, and it was an interview with a lock in a media source. He sat down and talked about the loans that Iraq had on the books from the central bank, and he talked about their successes and their ratios of success. The main takeaway was he gave value to the loans, and it was at a 6-to-1 ratio. And then if you go to the central bank's website, where they increased the money supply from 44 trillion to 7 trillion, and then they talked about getting rid of the old because they've been destroying in that video that they came out and were showing us that they were destroying the currency.
Yeah.
Well, they talked about the dead money.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of that would be considered what they've destroyed openly, which could equate to about 44 trillion. And if you look at the math on that, it's somewhat similar to the loans that Alok told us about. It was his numbers, not mine or anybody else's.
Yeah.
He's the one that gave that information. And it was a 6-to-1 ratio, just like they reduced the money supply. If that's the case, from 44, they added 7, which they had to, and they had to explain themselves that they increased the money supply. But did they increase the money supply with what? They didn't increase it with trip zero notes. It appears they increased it with new small category notes at a 6-to-1 ratio. So there could be some positive effect from that ratio. So and it could very well be stronger than 3-to-1.
Well, I was just going to tell you, Brent, if they come out at 1-to-1, or if they come out higher than 1-to-1, it's not my fault. I don't want to be blamed for that one. Hey, good report. Thank you, my brother. I got to run, and we'll have fun today, and I'll play this recording for them, okay?
Thank you. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, that was a good report. Now, I think what we need to do is also clarify the fact that was under the pretense that we were trying to understand if Pence was there or not, if he really was there with Mark or not. And after making the calls, like I said at the very beginning of our first UB2, because we have 2 tonight, we made it clear that no. And here in this second part of our Q&A UB2B for Saturday, once again we reinforced that no, we don't believe that the vice president is out there in Iraq, but we do believe that his schedule, his words, is whatever you want to call it, what he's been told to deliver to Iraq, it has been delivered. And I believe that it probably was more than likely by our vice president. Maybe not in person. Especially with Corona nowadays, everybody's telecomming, huh? But these are important things to accomplish, I believe. We do have an amazing report that shows you almost like, a chronology agenda of what they did that day. And that's why we believe that there may be some truth to the story. The problem is we cannot bring out that truth right now. How's that? And if somebody brought this truth out prematurely, okay. But whatever the case is, whether they're there or not, they are there. Because I believe we've taken over everything. Now, let's go ahead. I already made the correction. Not F-23s. That contract was accepted. They are F-22s. What? Where did that come from, Jan?
I don't know, they probably just logged on.
Where did that come from? Yeah, I made a mistake about the planes earlier, and I apologize if that's what you're talking about. Anyways, let's go now and deal with your Q&A for today, because I'm sure you're eager to go off and do other more important things. What's the name I'm looking for? Claire. Oh, it looks like 41 questions. I don't think it's going to be 41. We'll probably end up with about 30 questions because most of these questions we've already answered. And that was the purpose of spending that time with you. So when we get to these questions that we already know the answers to, we'll just very politely say, listen to the first and second recording. Please enjoy. And as we go to these questions, number one, please make note that this is all in my opinion. We have no date, we have no rate to give to you, to offer to you. It is a study of the Iraqi dinar monetary reform. Question number one from Reggae Boy. Oh, and by the way, if I know the answer, I'll answer to the best of my ability. If I don't know the answer, I won't make anything up. I'll tell you I don't know. Let's study it. And if I feel uncomfortable with a question, I'll simply say that no comment right now. And today we have a fourth option. If it has anything to do with our president, our vice president being in Iraq, we'll just simply say that we covered it. Please listen to the recording. Question number one from Reggae Boy. What is the main reason that we have not RI'd yet? There is some reason. What is it? Well, that's a very bold question to ask on a speculative investment. There are no dates. There are no rates. And to ask for it, it's not good. It can get you in trouble. But to say, in my opinion, or to say, you think that it by right around this time and give them reasons why in your opinion, yeah. But when you say, what is the main reason we have not RI'd yet? There is some reason. What is it? No, this is a speculative investment. I'm sorry. You have to treat it that way. Question number two from Reggae Boy again. There has been Mahdi, then Alawi, then Zebra, now Gazam. Why don't they make it through the ninth inning, in your opinion? And this whole recording gave you the breakdown of why and who they are, and next batter up, and all that good stuff. Okay, they're clones. And I did kind of say something today that I will say it again. In my opinion, each one of these prime ministers has a different length in their fuse. In my opinion, one minister may be needed for a week, one may be needed for 10 days, one may be needed for 14 days, etc. Question number three from Serene Fire. Don's post number 42 says that Cash Edition, that's the one I read, Cash Edition, Saturday, about Mohammed Saleh until the foreign reserve central bank worn out, the increasing demand on the new dinar for the old dollar. Does this mean that they are exchanging the new small category notes for dollars to get them off the streets? In other words, your question is, does this mean, the statement we've already read, does this mean that they are exchanging the new small category notes for dollars to get them off the streets? Yes. Okay, they've calmed down by now. Yes, electronically. Question number four from BFK. Ken, I'm about to lose power here, babe. Oh, I see it over here. Thank you. I'm not going back to that question number three and say anything more. From BFKEN. Okay, maybe I will. Citizens, come in and open up your accounts and we will credit you with. From BFKEN, once the budget, that was powerful. And not one comment. Anyways, from BFKEN, once the budget reinstatement are ready, our fail-safes installed on the GOI side to stop the illegal access of any and all domestic foreign currency usage. Well, they're laws, and the latest one is the currency manipulation law. That's the one that's really clamping down on what they're doing, especially with the CBI. And that's what I said today, that law is the reason why the CBI auctions stopped. Question number 5 from Not the One. Where is the GOI at in its sudden collapse because it is out of money? Where is the GOI at in its sudden collapse because it is out of money? It's in the place where we've been telling you for the last 2-3 weeks. They have to raise the value of their currency. Question number 6 from Buckeye Tree. In your opinion, can the CBI push the button for the reinstatement before the current Prime Minister designate officially receives the vote of confidence with his cabinet from Parliament? Yeah, of course they can. Yeah, but again, be realistic. This is a very acute moment. This is not over the long chronological years that we've been watching the steps evolve and get to the next step, and then get rid of Obama, and then get rid of ISIS, and then get rid of the negativity, and get rid of the communist Democrats, and get rid of those who are against Trump. So your question is, can the CBI push the button for the reinstatement before the current Prime Minister designate officially receives the vote of confidence with his cabinet from the Parliament? Yeah. Yeah, and this is something that I would like to see now. At this moment, at this concentration, at this acute point, at this ending of this investment. Yeah, that's what you want to see. That they can push the button at any time they want, with or without the government. But be realistic. This is when we need the government in order for the CBI to hand them the new rate. Before you could say, well, the CBI is ready. Okay, all right. So now we got to get the GOI ready. Yeah, okay. No, I'll tell you what, CBI is ready, and GOI, you better be ready. And they are. Because they ain't doing anything. Nothing. They're being supervised. The GOI is being supervised just like the CBI. You want me, look, who's the Prime Minister? Zebra? No. Okay. Kazam? No. Halawi? No. Mahdi? No. Hey, you know what? It don't matter. Pick one. We're in control. It don't matter who you put in. It's who we want. Oh, okay. And the elite bozos know that. And that's why they female dog every time that anything is put up lately. The last month. Haven't you noticed? Show me a bottle rocket. Show me a protest in the street. You haven't noticed? They don't exist. The only thing that exists is their bad breath. And it still gets in the way sometimes, that's all. Question number 7. From Pollyanna, Frank, as we are seeing number 5 and hopefully number 6 soon, how many other numbers or stages are we looking for in your opinion? I don't want to call them stages. Let's just say I'm labeling them numbers as it trickles down, right? That's what this is. That's what this is. The trickle down to the information to the citizens, okay? That video? What did I tell you number 5 was? The American dollar, right? Well, guess what? Enjoy the video. So how many? Oh, but you do have a good question. How many other numbers or stages? Whatever. I'm going to take it to 10. I'm going to take it to 10. Question number 8 from Popo 1. Hey, brother, from Texas, I think, right? Popo. Hey, Popo. Frank, do you believe that the Vietnamese Dong and or the Venezuela Boulevard? Can you get a hold of them? Let me make sure that they can hear us. Let me make sure that they can hear us. Okay. Yes. Sorry about that. Just a little timeout. Let's go back to Popo. Popo. Question number 8. Frank, do you believe that the Vietnamese Dong and or the Venezuela Boulevard will... It says that I signed out. I cannot believe how long it's taken just to get this conference call done today. Might as well go to sleep now. No.
Back over here.
You're back up?
Yep.
That's good. Hey, Mr. Trump. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 3, 2, 1. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 3, 2, 1. 3. Testing 3, 2, 1. 3. Testing 3. Nope, it's a shutdown completely. Testing 3. No, I just got it looping. It just loops and loops and loops, and I don't want to play no more, Jen. Can I go home?
Long way home.
Man, I'm so tired of this. What are you doing, Jen?
Seeing if it'll come up on here.
Well, honey, no. Does it work on your?
It's working on mine. It's working up
Well,
here.
then we don't need to do that, babe.
Okay.
All we need to do is to get it back up. Family, can y'all hear us? Turn that volume up and see. Turn the volume up on it. Right there, babe. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you? Testing 1, 2, 3.
So it's just this. Undo this.
Alrighty, so we shut this down completely. Then hold on, babe. Hold on. Okay, we're back, right? Alrighty, let's get, what number did we leave off?
8.
Number 8 from Popo 1. Back again. Frank, do you believe that the Vietnamese Dong and or the Venezuela Bolivar will revalue with the dinar or after? I believe that if they do anything, it would be after. And the reason why, in my opinion, is because I believe that the Iraqi dinar is a kingpin. You know, is the one where you pull the pin from the grenade, and it sets off all the other grenades. That would be the closest thing to what some people call a global currency reset. But it cannot go off all at once. It has to be in a sequence of about 6, 7, no more than 10 currencies at a time in whatever designated vehicle they use. And usually it's a currency basket. And as far as so that I believe we need to see the dinar first. Then we can maybe see the Vietnamese dong, the Venezuela bolivar. I would probably, well, I don't want to give any advice on any other currency. Question number 9 from Pollyanna. Frank, could you please explain why we need to stay out of the water for the next 30 days? It's less than 30 days, and my friends found things in the ocean that I did not feel comfortable with. And because of that, we feel that maybe, just maybe, it might be related to this pandemic. You don't need to call me because I certainly sure as hell ain't going to give you that information. Just simply stay out of the water for a while. Question number 10 from Iggy. Have you found the home that you are planning on buying while on this vacation? I had one of Iggy's posts. I made a picture of it. I got it in here, but I can't dig it up. He was saying something to the effect that, I remember I used to go to other sites. Then one day I saw this guy, Frank 26, and I haven't been anywhere else since then. You're either going to need psychiatric help or... After listening to me that long, Iggy, have you found a home that you're planning on buying while on this vacation? No. we couldn't get out. In the first 2 months, it was just raining and pouring, rain every day. In March, we were wanting to, but lo and behold, this virus started literally at the beginning of March. And to be honest with you, when we were here last time, the other 6 months before this one, we didn't really look there then either. And the reason why is because we have pretty much scouted every house that there is here in Hawaii on the island of Oahu. So we were going to dedicate this trip to go to the island of Maui and scout those homes out. It's more so the terrain, the slopes, the sewage system, the trade wind, the flow from the from bog, if you know what VOG is. The homes are all gorgeous, immaculate, and beautiful, you know. But what we look for is the parameters that would define that home or protect that home. Like if you go to Maui, let's say you want to live way out there, excluded from everybody. What happens if you get sick? Well, our home would actually have a triage unit in it that directly connects with the hospital. What if you needed evacuation quickly for whatever reason, flooding, monsoon, volcano, earthquake? Yeah, you want to know exactly, how far these heliports or little airports are at. Yeah, there's a lot of other things that we study besides the house nowadays. Question number 11 from Natoms, Natoms. Mr. Frank, can you give us a hint if you know where John F. Kennedy Jr. is still alive and may be part of President Trump's big reveal? That's a for real question, isn't it? All right, question number 11. Oh my God. Sam, will you stop texting me, please? I'm trying to do this call. Number 11 from that gentleman. Frank, can you give us a hint? If you know where John F. Kennedy Jr. is still alive, you mean not know whether I see, is still alive and maybe part of President Trump's big reveal. Okay, number 1, we should let the dead rest in peace. We really should respect the dead. I don't see where John F. Kennedy is hiding anywhere, Jr., nor his uncle. This is not what we teach at KTFA. This is a waste of time. And for you to say that it may be a part of President Trump's big reveal? No. I mean, Trump is a businessman. He's not into magical shows or illusions. This is not what we teach, Natoms. And obviously this is something that somebody else teaches on another form and you're interested in it. My only suggestion for you, sir, is to drop that as quickly as you can. You know what's interesting, Natom? I had a man call me 2 days ago or 3 days ago, young man about 30-something years old. And my wife and we were listening to him. In fact, that's when Delta was on, remember? And I told Delta, you even heard in the recording, thank you for allowing me the time to talk to this man. This young man called me, Natom, and he was so excited about what he found in the book of Ezekiel. And he started to study it. Next thing you know, he's into all these possibilities, theories, ideas. Wait a minute, a ring within a ring of Ezekiel? We know that's a UFO. Wait, hold up. And he starts to talk to me about all these other things that have moved him and brought him closer to God in a spiritual manner. I said, well, that's great. So then I asked him, I said, do you know what a people walker is?
People mover.
You know what a people mover is? And that's when you get on, like you're at the airport and you get on those people movers and you go faster because you got to catch the plane or something. I said, I am more than twice your age. I want you to step on this people walker, people mover with me. Come on, step on it with me. Let me move you a little quicker in your life so that you don't have to waste your life. Natoms, the only salvation is through Jesus Christ. And I told that to this young man. And I said that to me, that is the most important thing, to keep your eye, focus on the fact that Jesus died on the cross for us. Not how big was the cross. Was it an X or was it a T? Was it a capital T or a little t, huh? Who cares? These little things that become man-made, these idiosyncrasies, are trivial things that take us away from the focus. Wait a minute. Let me look at. You're looking at the cross? Oh, I sure am. I'm looking at Jesus. I'm looking at the suffering he did on that cross, and he died willingly for me. That's my salvation. That's the ultimate sacrifice. There ain't no more. There ain't no more. There ain't no more needed. That's it. There it is right there. And I want to tell that story to everybody else. But wait a minute, the book of Ezekiel talks to you about these UFOs and things. In the book of Daniel talks about it. In the book of Revelation talks about it. And you can talk all you want. I don't give a squat. None of that means nothing. You can take cyanide and drink it in front of me. What, to dare God? You can do whatever you want. It doesn't mean nothing. Just the salvation is Jesus Christ. Now, there are little things that maybe separate me from others in this study as well, too, Natom. Like, for example, somebody might say to me, well, no, hold up. I handle snakes to prove God's, my faith to him. Well, that's stupid. God never said that. Well, no, but I interpreted that, when Paul, don't, And that's the problem. Don't overthink the Word of God. It's very simple. It's simple. You don't have to test and push God to these points. Now, when you say to me, Frank, John F. Kennedy alive, and maybe that's what president, it's the same thing to me. We're dealing with, things that are so stupid. And this is so beyond our study. Keep your focus on solely the CBI. Just the CBI, nothing else. Wow, what happened, Jan?
This whole thing that you're talking about was nothing.
Oh, okay. And then there's also there's also for example, what's that guy's name? Mr. ABC? What's that letter?
Q.
What?
Q.
Q! Yeah, Mr. Q. Is that what they call him? Mr. Q? I'm sure he's fascinating. And I even told this young man, and I'm spending time because I think this is important to teach. I even told this young man, you know what? When I was your age, when I was 30-something, oh man, I had vinegar in my blood too. And I'm not knocking you down, because he sounded like he was getting a little depressed on the phone, like, oh no, I wanted to impress Frank and tell him the things and he's shooting me down. I'm not shooting you down. I'm actually proud of you. It's only natural to ask questions. That's why we're human beings. And that's why we've been to the moon and back. And other places. Nothing wrong with asking questions. But you should select the questions carefully, not to waste time. To ask me if John F. Kennedy's coming back, or to ask me if these other things that are tangible to the Bible, are they important? No, they're not. Stay focused on one thing, Jesus Christ, your Savior. Don't worry about the other things that other people bring into the Word of God. You know what I mean? And stay focused on the CBI, not so much what Trump and Reveal and John F. Kennedy. Now, I think also, I think what you're also saying, let's see, give us a hint if you know whether John F. Kennedy Jr. is still alive. You say, no. What you should have said instead was, hey, Mr. Frank, John F. Kennedy Jr. loved his uncle so much. Wait a minute, was it his uncle or is it his father? It would be his son. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I said uncle and nephew. My bad. Yeah, he loves his father so much, right? So, wouldn't you want justice to be found for your father if he was slain? So I think not that what you wanted to ask me was instead, John F. Kennedy Jr. swore, or he vowed, or he promised, that he would bring the murderers of his father to justice. Which causes another, paranoia. Oh, Junior was killed because he was going to turn into. Okay, here we go. So be careful, okay? And I told my friend, and I tell you too, not to be careful. Be careful how much time you spend where. And I think that the gentleman that I talked to understood what I was trying to tell him. I was not putting him down. When I was his age, I told him, I said, you know what? When I was your age, you know who one of my favorite people were? You know who one of my heroes was? He says, no, who? I said, a guy by the name of Edgar Casey. Yeah. I was fascinated by Edgar Casey. One day, I read Edgar Casey's book, and he said, well, what I do is I go into a trance. I go to sleep. I close my eyes, and then the universe, an angel talks to me or something. And I'm like, okay. Now I was 30-something years old, right? Okay, let me try that, okay? One eye closed or two eyes? Do I lift my hand up? What do I do? Rub my belly? I made jest of it because when I did it, I closed my eyes, I probably fell asleep. But when I came out of this little stupor, I actually saw something. You believe that? Let me show it to you. Here, look. This is a blank piece of paper. You see this? Tink, do you remember when we got married? I drew this out to you. Let me show you what I drew to Tink. I said, babe, you know how they're all saying that the world's going to come to an end?
Yes.
What, around the turn of the century, the what do you call it? The 2000? You know how everybody's saying that the world's coming to an end, and Tink says, yeah. I don't know. I don't think so. And she said, no, actually, the Mayan Incas have told me that that's not the case. If anything at all, I told her, I said, I think that something long, white, is going to attack New York. And from that point onward, we will never be the same again. And it's within the three. You know how I like threes? And she said, yeah. So 2001, 2002, 2003, something long and white. And I said, it looks like a fish. So I drew this. And she said, yeah, it looks like a fish. I said, oh, it's a submarine. Maybe it's a submarine that's going to come from Russia and send torpedoes and, I don't know, attack New York. Okay. So we folded it up and we put it away. And lo and behold, when 9/11 came around, I took the piece of paper out, and I did this. Watch. I took the piece of paper out and I did this. I added a pair of wings to it. Fascinating, a long white structure, huh? It's missing the wings, but it hit New York, and within that time frame. I didn't know that. So how did it happen? I don't know. But I think that God uses us in many ways. So I finished my phone call with this young man by telling him, I respect what you're doing. I respect your adventure, your desire to learn. Go for it. Ask questions and learn everything you can. The truth. But don't take your eyes off of Jesus Christ. And I say the same thing to you, Nat Tom. This is probably one of the longest answers I've ever given for a question. Question number 12 from somebody. Elena, I can't never say the name. Ramadan this year begins April the 23rd, yeah? Ending May the 23rd, true? What effects, if any, will there be with the CBI reinstating the currency? Well, first of all, Ramadan is a holy time of the year. And there is also Eid, which is a shorter time, but Eid is more for showing respect and honor and thankfulness. They're two different categories. They both don't, they observe their eating practice. They don't eat until after sundown. But that's it. And what does any of what I just said have to do with the monetary reform of the Iraqi dinar? Nothing. And I say that profoundly, very profound, because year after 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 year, for 17 years, we've always been wanting to see, is there a parallel? Look, this is when you are humble and thankful to God according to their faith. It is not the time that you go out in the streets and you yell and you scream, I'm rich! Or I got purchasing power. Look at my money. Okay? Doesn't work that way. So don't associate those two together. Question number 13 from the same person, Ellen something or another. In your opinion, what is the most vital piece of educational information that we are still waiting on for the Iraqi citizens to be presented with? That's like asking me what's next. I mean, no, that's not the way to do it. But, okay, let me help you. 5 and 6. 5 and 6. And what is 5? I told you, the American dollar, what they're doing with it. What is 6? Well, 6 is actually part of what you already saw, the video. 7, 8, 9, and 10 is what you're asking me about. What is that information that's coming out? You'll see it when it comes out. I'm going to give it to you ahead of time. Number 14, from from somebody, are the ATMs active? No. And I've said it many times already. And is this one way that the new currency notes are going to be distributed? Yes. We called it a mechanism, a tool from the IMF that has allowed the CBI to use the ATM machines in order to distribute the new small category notes. It will completely differentiate itself from the 3-0 notes. The 3-0 notes will only be acquired at one place, and the new small category notes will only be acquired at some other place. Question number 15 from Keebs. What are the citizens of Iraq using to buy groceries and other necessities? And is rate at basically 1-to-1 purchasing power in the country? That's a good question. It's not 1-to-1, but it is very close to it. And I don't want to say it's close to it. There are many different parts. Every part has its own bartering system. Some systems may be at 1-to-1 already. Some may be approaching it. But very few, if any, are at the program rate. Good question. Bravo. Question number 16, KBC 123. I believe the IQD and the USD are teaming up. That's what we're teaching. Well, yeah, I hope you believe that. Are teaming up in some way. Is this occurring electronically? Okay, we've already answered that. That was question 1 or 2 or 3 or something like that. On the second set of books and will soon be made known worldwide. You know something, KBC 123? I like your question. Let's do it again. I believe the IQD and the USD are teaming up in some way, yes. Is this occurring electronically? Yes, it already has. On the second set of books, yes, January 1st, not this one, but last year, and will soon be made known to the world. Yeah, that's what I pray for. That's where we're headed. Question number 17, also from KBC 123. At the end of your last video, you referenced 3 more topics, discussions, that need to come up. So have any of them come out yet? If so, may I ask what they are? Well, if they had come out, I've told you. And if they haven't, it's because I don't want to. Come on, don't do that to me, you guys. And as far as 3, it's actually 4. We're going up to 10. Question number 18 from Francis. You have an opinion about a coming dollar gold standard. No, I didn't say that. No, I said gold is affected because of what the American dollar is doing. No, and I said that the American dollar, I didn't say the American dollar is just backed by gold. I said it's backed by assets, and gold is one of them. Okay, let's read your question. You've opinioned about a coming dollar gold standard. How can that happen with 8,000 claimed tons of gold and 35 trillion tons of dollars in circulation. And even if they could pull that off, if it were not exchangeable like pre 1971, would it matter? Thank you, sir. Sweetheart, I don't understand your question. Besides, you got it wrong. I never said that the dollar is going on a gold standard. I said that it's a fiat, and then it's going to be using gold as one of its assets. Now, how can that happen you see, it can't, so it kind of neutralizes your question, okay? Question number 19 from Sonotech. Regarding the exchange process, in recent UB2Bs, you commented that there are 50 some odd steps that we need to know about, and that your team doesn't want you to do UB2Bs to teach us about the exchange process. Can you please explain why? Oh, well, because I'm not in Sonotech, because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a wealth manager. I'm not licensed to do this. And when I did it, the last time, I don't know when, a long time ago, I said I'm just gonna give you examples of what I'm gonna be doing. That's all. I didn't say, look, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do. Yesterday I had one, and this one just drives me up the wall. Look, remember I tell you, you're welcome to call me. I had somebody post, and they said, well, how dare you, Frank? How dare you complain about people calling you? How dare you, Frank? Frank, what? How dare you? What? About people calling you? Well, because you give out your phone number. How dare you? Okay. How dare you be so whatever? Look, I give out my phone number because I want to help. And then I say, please do not call me and ask me, well, Frank, what if this was to happen? And what if this date? And what if Malachi was involved? And what if blah, blah? You can't ask me those kind of questions on the phone, but yet you do. You understand, person that insulted me? I will take everybody's phone call under the parameters that I gave you. Do you need to pray? Do you need to cry? Do you need to laugh? Do you want a friend? Do you need to buy one of our products? Do you have a question from my broker on the currency, on how you can purchase it from him? But you can't call me and ask me those questions. So yesterday, Sonotech, I had somebody called and they said to me, Frank, I need my what did you put? My certificate of authenticity. And I was trying to eat too. And it just upsets my stomach. And then I can't eat. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm making it about myself. I'm sorry, God. But Sonotech, they said to me, I want my certificate of authenticity, Frank. Who are you talking about? Of course, I was acting stupid. I was angry. And she said, I want my certificate of authenticity. Stop. What? Stop. I'm just playing. Ma'am, there is no certificate of authenticity. Oh, yeah, my friend got theirs, and they got a little piece of paper. It's a rectangular piece of paper. It's long like this, and they told them that this is authentic currency. I said, well, good for you. What? I said, good for you and good for them. Because obviously you don't even know what you're doing. A certificate of authenticity is nothing more but a business card. When you go to the bank and you take your dinars and you take it to the bank teller and right there and you say, here, you want my certificate of authenticity too? It'll prove they're real. The bank will look at you with cross eyes and say, get out of here, man. We're going to make sure it's real. We don't need that garbage. That's a business card. Look on the back. It's got the address of who you bought it from. That's what that Ali guy used to do from, what was that place called? Dinar Trade. Remember that place? Gone. And you know why. Anyways, so, yeah, the bank is going to inspect it. Let me see your dinar. Okay, it looks real. The bank is going to run it through the Delarue machine. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's real. And then they're going to go ahead and tell you what they're going to do with it. What rate they're going to give, what exchange, what spread, whatever. Yeah, well, the rate is what the CBI gives you. So I hope to answer your question. No, I can't do that. I am thinking about doing it again, but I don't know if I'm going to. Question number 20 from Saucy. Saucy, do you think that the Iraqi Stock Exchange will wait to reopen until the IQD has a new value and the new small category notes are out? Do you see them opening? How many times have they delayed? Okay, count them. Uno, dos, tres. Ah, okay. So, question number one from Saucy. Saucy can ask, can the RI occur with curfews in place? You better believe it can. Good question, Saucy. Question number 22 from Ron Mexico. Have you heard anything about the rescuing of trafficked?
Trafficking?
No, trafficked. 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 Oh, trafficked. I think. Yeah. Have you heard anything about the rescuing of trafficked? I don't even think that's a word. Trafficked children and women. What? From deep underground tunnels under the North American continent? Is this a real question? Are you kidding me, Ron? Are you playing with me or what? Well, now, I take everything seriously. You know, when you bring it to me, Ron, I don't think you mean to be disrespectful. We're studying the Iraqi dinar, right? Okay. Have you heard anything about the rescuing of trafficked children and women deep underground tunnels under the North American continent? No. But that's not to say that, you know, this kind of stuff doesn't happen. Gee whiz, I live in Toledo, Ohio, by the Great Lakes. You know that my region is the number one kidnapping of children to traffic children around the world and for molestation? Yeah. You know why? Because of our 5 Great Lakes. You could be shopping with your child and you're not paying attention to that child. And a little chloroform, you know, very quickly, especially if you're right by, you know, a little cubby, a little bathroom somewhere. That child is going to be instantly knocked out. The cameras will be taken care of. And that child will be kidnapped and it will be trafficked. And it will probably eventually die a horrible death. And it's not just children, but it's also men and women. The demons of this world are so perverted. And you ask me, do I know of anybody being rescued from tunnels under North America's continent and whatnot? No, I don't. But may I suggest that you pray for them? Because it's a fact of life. Here's the article, by the way. Let me read this. The one that came out today that supposedly is not real. And it's not real. Okay? It's not real right now. On an unannounced, but look at the what's the word I want? The intricacy. Look at all the specific. Oh, but it's not real though. Okay, that I can tell you. Okay, that I know right now. It's not real. An unannounced visit, Trump's deputy and his defense minister arrived at a military base in Iraq. Yeah. Shopkoff News is saying that an Iraqi security source revealed the arrival of the U.S. Vice President Donald Trump. Oh, the arrival of the U.S. Vice President Donald Trump? The arrival of the U.S. Vice President. See, that's messed up. And Defense Secretary Mark Esper on Saturday night at Assad Air Base in Anbar province on an unannounced visit. The source said in a special statement that the Vice President Mike and his buddy arrived in the afternoon at the Air Force Base, while the U.S. Defense Secretary Mark Esper later arrived at sunset. Oh, jeez Louise, what color pants was he wearing? The source added that Pence and Esper visits comes in order to review the process of setting up and activating the Patriot defense systems. The defense system, and to inspect their country's forces and international coalition. It was not immediately clear if the two of the U.S. officials would meet Iraq officials. The Washington Post reported on Saturday that Patriot defense system were activated in Iraq to protect the American forces from bases that were previously attacked, killing soldiers from anti-ISIS coalition forces. The U.S. Secretary of Defense Mark Esper announced earlier this year that the United States was working on with Iraq to deploy Patriot air defense systems into Iranian strikes on the Iraqi military bases where the American forces are stationed. That the United States has about 5,000 soldiers in Iraq to train and advise Iraqi security forces to fight against the extremist groups such as ISIS and to provide protection for these forces. Patriot systems consists of highly sophisticated radar and intercepted missiles that are capable of destroying ballistic missiles and all these firecrackers. While flying. A U.S. official said earlier that the two batteries arrived at a base in Anbar provinces and the skill bases in April in the capital of Kurdistan region in Iraq, adding that the two other batteries are still in Kuwait pretending to transfer into Iraq. Look at Trump. That's my boy. There you go. Hey, Pence. What? Did you and Mark do this? What? What they're saying, Mark? Come on, man. Did you guys do this? Buddy, Mark, Mike, did you guys do this? What? What they're telling you? What they're saying about you guys today? No, we did that. We did it a while ago. Oh. This will cause, in my opinion. Next time, put it out in time, okay? You stupid dumbass. Where you from? Where you from? Where? Anbar, huh? You sure you're not from Damascus? Why? Because you sure are some dumbass. Three guys walk into a hotel and ask for a room for the night. The proprietor said it will be $30, and each one pays that. Never mind. That's called a blue couch moment, huh? So how you doing, Mohammed Shaleh? I'm doing good. I'm with the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and the new international monetary system that we're doing in Iraq. Really? Yeah, this is also comes to launch a signal of financial independence. Yep, and the gradual move away from the current international monetary system or any other existing international currency system from the SDR basket currencies will until the stability of the internal financial and monetary policies of the group of these countries. Really? Yeah. And the Dinar is one of them? Yeah. Question number 23 from Let It Be. Is the lava only flowing because of the pressure, or is it now going downhill towards the citizens? Well, it's always been a lava flow. It's always been going down. It's always been. It doesn't go up. It doesn't stop. It doesn't retreat. Well, I suppose it can be, maintained. But no, you're not going to stop it dead in its tracks. No, computers are still thinking. Computers are still calculating. Computers are still moving the numbers. So yeah, this lava flow, it has increased from a lava flow to a complete drop, like a waterfall straight to the citizens. I'll say that much, and it is due to the pressure from the United States of America, where it's no longer an oversee, but a complete control, 180 about face supervision. From Phantom Wolf, Frank, about 4 years ago, there was a discussion about mass arrest in the United States. Here we go. This is the third paranoia conspiracy. Planet X, Mr. ABC, XY, Q. They got nothing else to do but do this, huh? Maybe we should take a week off, babe. Hey, family, can I take next week off? No Monday call, no Wednesday, no Friday team chat, no Saturday. Can I take a week off because you don't seem to need me? About 4 years ago, Frank, there was discussion about mass arrests in the United States. When do you think that we will be seeing the mass arrest of the elite and or bankers of the elite?
He's saying 14 years ago.
Huh?
He's saying 14 years ago, not 4 years.
Well, then that you shouldn't have said 4 years. This is where I know it was a typo. Every question that excuse me. God forgive me. Phantom Wolf, you say about so it's 14 years ago. Thank you. About 14 years ago, there was a discussion about mass arrests in the United States. Well, yeah, because there's a lot of this here, these sites that talk about the United States is going to declare martial law. Really? We declare martial law on other countries, not on ourselves. And they say this to you, really? Okay. Martial law does. Okay. What you're talking about is more than likely a curfew. Hey, Tink, did they do a curfew here in Hawaii last night?
Yep.
From what time to what time?
11 p.m. to 5 a.m.
11 p.m. until 5 a.m. in the morning. And what did I do at 11:01? I walked outside, didn't I?
Yep.
Yep. I stepped in the street and I ran back in, didn't I? Did I get arrested?
No.
No, but I had fun. It made you laugh.
Yep.
You looked at me from the way up there. You were looking down. You said, "Get back in here." Yeah, about 14 years ago. Nah, about every day there's a discussion. You can go on Google. You can Google this up, and you'll see this where they actually have pictures. I think it was from a building. Yeah, it was from a building. And here comes this helicopter. And it's at an attack mode. It's not going like this. It is coming straight down. It was the highway in Texas. I forget what interstate it was. And here it comes. And it was black. As black as could be. And here it comes. Ready? And then it goes downward. And it just swoops right over the cars. It went right over it. And flew away. What the hell was that about? They're training in case American citizens go wild. They're training on how to shoot us. Maybe. I don't know. But there's always Phantom Wolf. There's always someone out there with some conspiracy, with some paranoia. It's just human nature. It's actually part of our Abdullah oblongatum because it is a primordial instinct. For us to constantly be on the guard and looking, you know what I mean? When we sat in the cave looking out, we weren't watching our television. No, we were looking to see who wanted to come into the cave to kill us. Those in the cave with us, we wanted to make sure they didn't want to kill us. It's survival mode. So when people talk about paranoia that 14 years ago there was mass arrests and mass killings, no, that's just a theme of the human brain. When you see it out there, it amplifies, especially when you see that these helicopters were actually training over American citizens, American highways. What for? I don't know. But I'm not going to sit there and go and get all paranoid about it, right? The same way with the Word of God, as I tried to use as an example tonight. You don't get overboard with things that really mean nothing for your salvation. I have someone that says to me, it's so important that I do nothing on Saturday. Okay, why? Because that's a Sabbath. That's the day that the Lord rested. And the Lord tells you can't do anything on the Sabbath? Yeah. When did he tell you that? Here, look, the 10 Commandments. Oh. I respect that. You shouldn't do anything on Saturday. If that's going to motivate you and get you closer to Christ, so be it. You know what? It's keeping you focused on Jesus, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay, I'm all for it. But I'll tell you this. You not doing anything on Saturdays is not going to get you to heaven. It's like the guy that, because, I don't believe that way, so let me show you on my side. It's like the guy that says to me, hey, I went to church every Sunday, and that's not going to get you to heaven. So whether it be on your side of the fence or my side of the fence, be careful on what you put your emphasis on. It should only be Jesus Christ. And if you don't want to do anything on Saturday, that's fine. But Jesus Christ died for me on the cross so that I could do something on Saturdays now. Yeah, that's my interpretation. Am I right? So I respect yours, you respect mine. But when we get to this point, when we interpret something to the point of paranoia, I would tell you, please pick up your children, pick up your dog, pick up your cookies, and run in the other direction. This is a waste of time. And 3 questions already have become a waste of time. Question number 25 from Tim. Frank, why is it? Oh, I like this one. Look at it. Question number 25 from Tim. Frank, why is it a beautiful day? It's a beautiful day because there are things that, in my opinion, that have been accomplished in our study that have not come out yet. And when they do, oh my, those are beautiful days that are coming. They're coming. In fact, may I also suggest one more thing, in my opinion? This is the 3rd hint. What was the first one? Yeah, we got $35 billion worth of American dollars worth of dinars in the U.S. Treasury, says Donald Trump. What? What? Mr. President, we need this, we need that, we need the money, we need the more stimulus money, we need more ventilators, we need money to buy this and buy that, and we got plenty of money. We got plenty of money. We got plenty of money. In the heat of the core of the sun, the president boldly tells all these defiants, we got plenty of money, and you know. Next question. So Tim, that's why it's a beautiful day. And one day, that day is coming. Oh my God, it'll be a horrible day for the others. Question number 26, also from Phantom Wolf. Frank, Kevin Morgan, that's beautiful. Remember your tithes, your 10%. Remember what I taught you last time we were together about that? May I very quickly, put down God, G-O-D, okay, and then equals, put the T, that represents the cross of Jesus. Okay, so the G is what? There are many ways to give gifts. What's the O? There are many ways to give offerings. What's the D? There are many forms of giving donations. And what's the T? There are many ways to tithe. Take advantage of all 4 of them. Question, because you see, in your lifetime, this is what you can do. But not after your lifetime. You're not accumulating wealth here to take it there. You're not accumulating good deeds just to get there. Has nothing to do with that. Okay? Has nothing to do with going to church every Sunday, doing nothing on the Sabbath. It has all to do with how you interpret the love that Jesus Christ left behind for you so that you could give it to others. I hate it when I get into a religious argument with somebody because we're talking about God. We just simply interpreted his word differently. And that's where the devil gets involved. That's where the devil gets involved. Question number 27, Militia Frank. Why does Daddy's clone show up in Iraq? Well, he didn't, but I think he. I think he. I think this is just old news. Frank from Militia Man. Why does Daddy's clone show up in Iraq? He did. Go back. Oh, you can find it on your own. It wasn't just Pompeo that went over there. Frank? Why does Daddy's clone show up in Iraq? Was it only the Patriot system, or was it a final sign off? Actually, the final sign off was earlier. I think this one was for the Patriot system. Question, but that's if he showed up, and he didn't. By the way, he didn't. And that's why I think this is old news. You stupid! You put it out too late. From Airborne 82. Yes, sir. Hey, oh, if it is, well, it would seem that a small herd of key players on the United States and Iraq side gathered near Ambar today. Well, no. Well, yes. You left somebody out. How you know this? Oh, it's your opinion. Let me start this again, okay? I find you interesting. What's it say? Airborne. It would seem that a small herd of key players on the United States and Iraq side gathered near Ambar today, and there must have been an important announcement or directive of supervision. How do you know this? A directive that needed to be delivered to Iraq to warrant Vice President Pence's presence. Aha! I gotcha. Everything from that point above, I go, how do you know that, huh? But everything from this point below, to warrant Vice President's presence. So, what is your opinion of the reason or message for the meeting, especially if Halabusi was there? Well, I think it's, number one, we in charge, right? Yeah. You doing what we tell you, right? Yeah, okay. Number two, we in control with military-wise, right? Right? Yeah. I mean, we taught you guys what to do, and you won't do it, right? Keystone Cops. Right? So, we got this, right? Yeah. Go sit on the sofa, okay? We got this. Ooh, that's a good one. Question number 29 from Tim. Why meet in Ambar and not in Baghdad? Oh, okay. First of all, null and void. But second of all, if they did, because that's the strategic. Look at the question before. Okay, who was it? Look at Airborne's question. It was heard that it would seem that a small herd of key U.S. and Iraqi gathered from both sides today in Ambar. See? Location. That was the best place to meet, to be honest with you, in my opinion. Question number 29 from Tim. And by the way, we're almost done. Whoa! Question number 29 from Tim. Why meet in... Oh, we already did that. I'm sorry. And then, about 3 hours later... I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. Well, you tell him you're sorry. I'm sorry. What? There's a controversy. Controversy what? Yeah. Well, I want to give you assertions and apologies for what? Well, had the U.S. Secretary of Defense arrived in the Assad base in Western Ambar with a surprise visit? No. No. I'm sorry. Why? Well, the news between the media and the press sources conflicted. No, it didn't. This was a very precise report. But go on. What do you want to say? I'm sorry. Why? Because the news between the media and the press sources conflicted about the arrival of the U.S. Defense Secretary Mark Esper to Assad base in Western Ambar in conjunction with the presence of the President Hadim Salid. I could never say that word. Speaker of the House of Representatives Mohammed Al-Halbushi in Ambar at a time. You see? Who's all those people? Perfect place. Location. But that's if it had happened today, but it didn't. No. Back to the Future? Okay. At a time, you need the flex. Was it the flex converter? The flex. What is it in the Back to the Future? I can't. What I'm talking about, that little thing with you set in between the two, the driver and the passenger in the back, right against the console. What's the flex converter? Flex capacitor. There comes the flex capacitor. You need the flex capacitor to make this article be for real. Okay, so what happened? I'm sorry. Well, now, if it did happen, and whenever it happened, what happened? Well, this was a mix-up between one of our journalists that's working for Al Harura television, returned to apologize after publishing the false information, stressing that the news of the defense minister's arrival is false. Well, that's a big false. That's a big mistake. Observers believe that the promotion of this false information came in conjunction with Braham Shali's visit to Ambar. Sure, why not? That sounds good. The guy don't look nothing like Pence. Come on, dude. Come on. You're talking about Shorty over here. Okay? You're talking about Shorty. You're talking about... Look at it. That's USA, man. Check it out, blonde. Oh, it's not blonde. Well, look at that gray hair. Huh? Tall, straight. Look at that. That's American. You couldn't mess that up. But anyways, let's pretend it was, okay? That was the reason, with the aim of giving consensus to Mustafa al-Kazimi. You mean Kazam? Yeah, Kazimi choice of other dimensions and downloading it more than his natural contents resulting from the compatibility with regards to eternal affairs. That's a bunch of garbage. Yeah, and I know, but it's good fillers. We got it off a law paper over there. Okay. Woo! Okay, alrighty, okay. Hey, CBI, so how you guys doing? We're okay. Actually, we requested the position of the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq. What? Yeah, we're asking for a governor to lead us at the Central Bank of Iraq. What happened to Alak? Well, if you want to keep him, but we're asking for a position for this. Let me ask you something. Why do you guys all, I mean, it sounds like something's coming to an end. Why y'all, what's all this changing of the guards everywhere? From the GOI being arrested and changing, putting in new ministers? Interesting. And board of directors, you are interested in a new governor, huh? Yeah, well, if you want. Hey, Alak, how you feel about this? I don't know nothing. Alrighty. Well, anyways, Saturday we're doing this for the information about the coalition pressure on the position of the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq. No, nobody's putting pressure on you from the GOI except the supreme elite bozos. They don't want Alak because he's turned into a turncoat. He won't give them the money. Oh, is that what is going on? Yeah. Okay. Now here. Yeah, we have the news that the other people have obtained guarantees to obtain the position of the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq, and all of this is not true. Oh, I didn't see that part. All of this is not true. That's right, it's not true. Anyways, so let's go on. He continues and he talks, and you should really read that. It's post number 154. Look at post number 154. And then he continued. Therefore, his continuation of the position will be entailed legal penalties according to the legal Iraq administration law, noting that the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq took several decisions at the meeting of the board of the directors. Number one, the continuation. And then when you think about it, when you read it, wait a minute. So Alak, would you bring up 8 points? The ones that we were talking about, me and Delta, the ones that I tore apart the last time I was together with the family on Wednesday, Well, you guys are a little late. We already talked about it. You need to read this again. For them to bring these 8 points back out to you? You think that this flow of information is just for the hell of it? From Alak, the governor of the CBI? Who the elite supremes and bozos are trying to get rid of right now, just like they're trying to get rid of the prime minister. It don't matter. Next, get them up. No, it doesn't matter. Bring wave after wave after wave. We'll knock you all out. We're in control now. Question number 30 from Rain Dancer. Frank, if Vice President Pence is there to sign off on things, the big meeting for the past several days are leading to the new value of the IQD. In your opinion, will it have an exact release time, or may it be related to the curfew lifting dates? There is no, I don't know the date. And I don't know if it's related to the curfew, when the curfew is lifted in Iraq. Because in all honesty, the curfew is not being followed in Iraq. I didn't follow it here in Hawaii last night, just as a joke. From Snaggledoodle, I'm not taking the coronavirus lightly. People are dying. I may die from it. But I'm not going to die from it by being stupid and scandalous, which is what was accomplished. I told you, it's a freaking virus. It'll kill you. That's what they're meant to do. I told you they're not from Earth. These are crystalline structures. We have DNA. That's a completely different life form. Figure it out. This virus, because it's not according to our DNA, mutates your DNA. Figure it out. The geniuses of this planet Earth. Look, we can use this because it's crystalline structure. Wow, it can really mess things up in the DNA of the helix. You think so? I know so. Let me show you. Look at this rat. What happened to the rat? I altered its DNA. And you think I'm kidding? These sick puppies do this for a living. But I also know that it's a virus. Just don't get near it. And if I see somebody, like I told you, coughing and hacking and throwing up or diarrhea all over the place, I'm not going to sit there and you know what I mean? Unless I'm in the medical profession. And I used to be, but I'm not anymore. Why? Because I knew this was coming. And there was nothing I could do about it. Every year it comes. Every year it comes. Go back the last 30 years. Add them up. You'll see every year there's been a epidemic. Question number 31 from Snackdoodle's daughter. You suggested that Eddie save the stimulus money that he is to receive. Yeah, only because if he could get it out of Iraq, he could get more out of it. And also, if he just holds on to it when they come out at 1-to-1, hey, you know what I mean? Got no one to hold him, when to fold him. And who knows? No, it's going to be 1-to-1. But that 1-to-1 internally, we know externally it's going to skyrocket. Okay. I mean, the social media is talking about it. Remember what Delta brought us? Get us back to 322 glory days. All right, whatever. But internally, 1-to-1, yes. Mathematically, yes. SDR wise, yes. In basket, yes. But value-wise, no. No, I think the Iraqi dinar in country, yes, mathematically, 1-to-1. But value-wise, as it grows out there, how you think the people are going to feel about it in their own country? How much is this? $5. Okay, I pay you $5. Now give me $10. What do you mean five? You said $5. Why $10? You can afford $10, can't you? Well, now I can. Yeah, they raise the value. Give me $10. Okay. The value inside the country. You see, that's another form of economics. But I hope I answered your question. Question number 31. Shaggle. Is this the last one? Oh, we're getting there. 31. Oh, we're losing them, aren't we, babe? Okay, hurry up. 31, Shagdoodles, you suggested that Eddie save, and we already told you. 32, from I Write 1. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Frank, if the new small category notes are announced, will the rate be announced as well? Yeah, we think that if you got the notes, you got to have the rate. Or it should be that they should announce the rate and then the notes. But we just can't see you giving you the notes and then later we'll give you the rate. No, no, no. And you know what? You know what? The business world knows that, and I think that that's why they're anticipating it. Question number 33 from Dustin Frank. An article from Al Monitor in Iraq came out Thursday saying that the Islamic State is seeking to take advantage of Iraq while they're dealing with this pandemic. My question is, I know, I saw that, jerks. My question is, do you find it kind of odd that the Islamic State started infiltrating Iraq on the same day that Zebra stepped down and Kazemi immediately took position as prime minister? Yeah, because they're pissed. Probably because they're pissed. Saudi Arabia, you my home, I'm pissed at you. Well, they're pissed at you too. And sometimes families just get angry at each other and do things and say things that they regret. And I hope that that's the case, because in all honesty, Islamic State, support your own, stupid. Question number 34 from Saucy. Do you think that the 1,200 stimulus checks are ready to boost our banks and we are the delivery system? Oh, Saucy, no. Our banks are more than ready. No, our currency is preparing itself for our banks for the near proximal future. And as far as the 1,200 stimulus check, is that to stimulate the banks? No, our banks are stimulated and ready to go thanks to Donald Trump. The stimulus check is for you and the American economy. And the Iraqi dinar reinstatement is for the stimulus package of the planet called Earth. It is the first pin for what others have exaggerated as what they call a GCR. No. Question number 35 from Leroy. Frank, I have not been able to listen as much as I would like. Would you please cover what number 5 and number 6 are? Leroy, I sure did in this whole call. Go back and enjoy it. From Ron, Mexico. Oh, boy, here we go. Ron, the last question was, what was it? Pair you up for what? Here we go. Buried. Ron, Mexico. Hey, I'm just playing, man. I'm playing, okay? Why you call yourself Ron, Mexico? You're not even a Mexican. Where'd that come from? I'd like to know that one. That one's cute. That's like calling me Frank Irish. Hey, what's up? Can you please remember me in your prayers, because the isolation has me feeling very sad. Thanks for everything. Is he in jail?
No, the quarantine. I told him earlier that 24/7 the chat room is open in premium. Just go in there.
You want prayers for being in good health, isolated in your home?
He's lonely.
Oh, you want prayers for your mental state. That's a different situation. And I agree, Ron, Mexico. Especially if you're by yourself and you don't have anybody, a spouse, a girlfriend, or whatever, a family member. No, I agree, Ron. We pray for all of us, for each other. There was a scientific report that was done, back in the 60s. It was done with primates. It was shown that it was said that if a human being is born, and this cannot happen, but if it was born and raised mechanically with robots, and let's say it was 12, 13 years old, and the room that human being was raised in, all of a sudden the door opens up, and another human being walks into that room. I mean, just the first physical contact. would probably be enough, they said, to put that human being into shock and kill him. I think they were exaggerating, but then again, I don't know. I don't know. Ron, to be isolated, to be by yourself is sad. But know that Jesus is there. Know that his angels are there. Know that the Holy Spirit rejoices around you. And you know that. And I would suggest that you go to the places where they dwell. Maybe you can go to KTF, Keep the Faith Always, to our chat room, huh? I think you're a prime, aren't you? Yeah, I know you're a premium member. There's a lot of Christians that hang in there. Those that don't act very Christianly, I punch them in the nose. I get rid of them. I don't mind acting a little non-Christian if it helps God's kingdom. You know, not at all. So Ron, I pray for you. In fact, you know what? Let's pray together right now. Abba, Heavenly Father, not only do we pray for Ron, but for all of us that are in our own little cubicles, in our own little rooms. It's amazing. It's amazing that the environments that we are being forced to go into may cause us to have some type of depression, mental issues, bipolarism, schizophrenia, whatever it may be. We're not bees. You know, you made us as human beings. We're not bees that go into these little coveys and live in. I pray for the people in Japan, Heavenly Father, that have to live in such small little rooms and little small little environments. Can you imagine? I pray for my friend Ron and anybody else that needs to be edified, lifted, because you told us visit each other. Interesting, this corona will not allow that right now. You told us to visit the lonely, the sick, etc. Yeah, a little hard to do right now, but I pray that soon, Father, that we can have that beautiful day. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, by the Holy Spirit, I pray. Amen. 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 Love you, Ron. God bless you, brother. Question number 37 from Chalet. Do we even have a need now for Q&A? Question number 38 from Stephen D. Aloha, Frank. You know what? I don't think that they meant that in a sarcastic way. Chalet, do we even have a need now? No, that's why I wanted to take a week off. All they have to do is just wait. Keep receiving it from the CBI. It's coming daily almost, huh? Do we even need to? You know what, Chalet? I think we do. We do for the week. For the week. It takes a lot of strength, a lot of willpower to actually, read a book, to actually read the reports, to actually go to KTFA and be a member. You know what I mean? It's so much easier the way that the internet feeds us nowadays. So yeah, do we even have a need now for Q&A? Yeah, for those that are either lazy or don't have the time because their lives don't allow it. They may work 24/7. They may be doctors. They may be nurses. They may be soldiers. We have a need for the Q&A. They may be handicapped. Blind. From 38, from Stephen D. Aloha, Frank. Given that we appear to be in educational step number 5 of the 8 total, actually today I told you it's actually 10 that I have. Those 8 were Alak's steps that he got from these meetings that he trickled down to the citizens of Iraq. Isn't that great? Of the total of, I'll say now, 10 steps. Well, no, they're not steps. These are 10 events, 10 issues, 10 subtitle or head titles that I'm looking for. That's all. So let's read this again and allow me to edit your question. Here we go. Hello, Frank. Given that we appear to be in educational step number 5 of 10 total issues, events. In your opinion, will the CBI pictures of the new small category notes be shown to the citizens early, maybe in step 6 or 7, or simultaneously with the new rate is revealed in step 9? Just ask one question, please. Yes. Question number 39 from Stephen D. again, staying with the relaxed theme of the I don't care. If the new rate is revealed before the budget goes to Parliament, do investors care if these can kickers continue to sleepwalk through the GOI budget-related business? God, yeah. Jan, you want to answer that question? Let's even try to understand it. Staying with the theme, forget that. I don't care, forget that. Here we go. If the new rate is revealed before the budget goes to Parliament, okay, I understand that. Do investors care if these can kickers? But how can it be a can kicker if the new rate came out? You see, that's where it becomes. I don't understand the question. Can continue to sleepwalk through GOI budget related. I'm so sorry. I don't understand because it contradicts itself. Your question comes out that if a new rate comes out before the budget, will the investors care if these can kickers continue to sleepwalk through the GOI? Well, they're not if they came out with a rate. Question number 40. Oh God, I'm going into cramps. I haven't drank anything all day except this. Question number 40 from Dustin Frank. Whenever we exchange our dinars, I'm not asking about a date, would you be willing to start another currency study like maybe Vietnam or Venezuela? I enjoy your currency studies. Thanks. You know what? The only way I would do it is if I got paid. Yeah. And as far as our $10 that we get through do you know how many people we help? Do you know what it costs to keep us on the internet? My wife and I tell you about products in order to make a living. We tell you about our broker in order to make a living. And then they go buy it else. Question number 41 from Stephen D. again. Frank, in your opinion, is it fair to say that the strategic talks between Trump administration and Iraq scheduled for mid-June will include elements of the economic reform, but not the monetary reform, because the monetary reform will have already been completed? Yes. Alrighty. So, that question, we really covered it in our call today, and I hope you were able to hear it, or you can go back and listen to it again. I'm done. Yeah, done. And I'm starving, and oh my God, it's going on 6 o'clock. What happened? It's going on midnight back home.
Yeah, 11:11 right now.
What?
It's 11:11 at home.
Yeah, no wonder we only have about 700 something. Okay, God bless you. Tomorrow is Sunday, Easter Sunday. All honor and glory to our Heavenly Father. Thank you, God, for sending Jesus to die on the cross for us. I do my very best every day to make it worth his pain. And I wish you all a happy time with your loved ones, your friends, and if you're by yourself, like Ron Mexico, know that you're not. Believe that you're not. But above all, trust that you're not. God is there with you, okay? I leave you all in peace, and I hope that we were able to help you out with these questions tonight and all the extra stuff that we brought you. An awful lot. We came on at 1:30. 3.5 hours. We got to stop meeting this way. Y'all take care. I love you. God bless you. Ahui ho, Monday.